Well, it's another edition of the LMS Radio Project, and we're featuring some of the finest artists here in North Carolina. As usual, Southeastern North Carolina is our home, and we like to represent properly. And we're very fortunate to have one of those proper representatives in the house this evening, and that's Sir Ben Marx. Now, for those of you who don't know it, this man is very special in his many, many different ways. But it's good to have you in the house, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Ben. And, man, we've known each other for a while.
Right.
I remember the first time you ever hit the stage, as I recognized, you had the megaphone. You still work with it?
I don't work with the megaphone too much. No, because, like, you know, I feel like after I did it, maybe I was not looking around, but people started coming out of woodwork with megaphones. So I was just like, well, maybe is my idea original, or have people been doing it? I just didn't know. I don't know.
Maybe you started that fad.
I'm not trying to take credit for it, but maybe so.
I think so. I mean, because you were one of the few people who would actually get up and sing. And I remember, and the beautiful thing about it is we've talked about this many times, and I use it as pretty much a gauge. I remember the night you had done that, and you had the keyboard and you were doing the megaphone. Mm-hmm. And I told you, I said, man, your stuff is so great. I said, shoot, you just bring your vocals up 3 or 4 years, you'll be doing it in Prague. Well, you have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
Oh, close to.
Close
Prague.
to. Okay.
Somewhere in Europe.
Well, you was in Europe, all right. Folks, Sir Ben Marx is a great thing. Ben, for those out here in our listening area and who's going to be viewing this, tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, go ahead and chill out on that, man.
Get comfortable a little bit.
Get comfortable, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Table's a little shaky, but he's all good.
Okay. Okay,
So yeah, just kind of give us a little feed about who you are. Let folks know who you are.
I'm Sir Ben Marx, for those who you don't know. I'm Mark Benchman, actually. I'm a producer, a songwriter. I'm in the fashion field. I'm a painter. So I guess all around I'm artistic, and my platform is just going around to different countries and cities and just displaying my talents, and one by one getting people to see and recognize that, you know, this talent is just not something that is just for money. It's who I am. It's a way of life for me.
So in other words, he's basically saying, in a way, that we don't make the art makes us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Because, you know, I can have my great moment where, you know, I got paid from a job, and then I can be broke as I don't know what. But it don't change my love for creating. You know, it's like that still remains intact for me. So that's why, exactly what you said, the art really makes who I am. Man,
you have really been one of the proudest. I really have a sincere love and appreciation of what you do. When you speak about being the overall artist, that makes you a bohemian, because you do travel into so many different genres that most people, you know, and I've seen you on Facebook with various photographs. 1 minute you're suited up and you're looking like you're suave, and the next minute you're like you're ready to go to a I guess you might say a grunge fight or a rave or something. So you just cover a whole wide genre thing. And I think that makes you, when people see you a lot of times, do you think that gives them a different impression of what they think they see? If, let's say, if they saw a photograph of you with your cyber gear on, and then they see you in your natural environment, do you think they wonder about that?
Well, I think that actually my family, they just don't even care anymore. They know that it's gonna be something a different feeling, because, like, you know, looks and how you dress and stuff, it's all about how you feeling, perception. What do you want to get? What do you want to put out into the universe that day? And just so happen I have a whole lot of different moods, a whole lot of different ways that I express myself. So it also transcends into my music. When people ask me, what is your genre? You know, I have no one set genre, and I know in this industry, it's important to have a genre, because, you know, ultimately it's a money-making industry. So if you have no genre, that means that the country people just can't claim you for themselves, because, you know, you're going to be unloyal to your fans. But, like, you know, I transcend. Like I try to just stay true to myself. And so far, I can say that I don't have a genre. I'm happy with that because like I feel like I am the common link to all of my expressions. So and like actually I'm trying to break those boundaries. I'm trying to show people that you don't have to have a genre in order to be successful. You can just be just expressive in who you are, and that makes you a genre within itself.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. I love that. Because you spoke about your family, and I much respect and love to those folks because they have been a great support factor.
My family is so
I love them, boy. Every time I see them, your mom. As a matter of fact, the musical family side of that family? There was your mom was a very good influence.
My mom is an excellent gospel singer. My brother, he over there, he probably don't want to be singing, but my brother Zach, he's the one that when it comes to my beats and stuff, and me being a songwriter, I can totally say that Zach was the main person that got me thinking like, oh, I can make my own music. Because before that I was just buying other people's CDs and singing along with it. Mm-hmm. But once I just discovered that I could make my own music, it was on. I turned into a Frankenstein.
Yes, sir.
I went crazy, and I'm still I can't. Like, I'm addicted to creating. Like, even though I might have a new album, I'm kind of like, what can I do next? Like, where can I go next in my mind? Because, like, to me, it's a journey every time I go to a different realm in music. So, I love creating. And maybe I should slow down or maybe I should speed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just all about creating and stuff.
It's wonderful even to have that choice.
Yeah, it is.
When you think about it like that, because that leaves that totally in your hands. You're controlling how you flowing.
Yeah.
And, and that's a beautiful thing because some people don't have that. Yeah. They're locked into these little, you got to do this. And then they feel like, oh, man, I'm working. No, I got stressed out trying to catch that up. But you do that. I've noticed that we had you, we've talked many times, and it's always a pleasure to catch you when you're available because most of the times you're into so many different areas. You were in Paris, you're in LA, you're in New York. I remember when you came back from a New York trip one time and you'd done that CD up there with that wonderful group of folks on that.
Wow. That was a great CD. That was SBX Express.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wow. That's great that you remember that because like that's a CD that I sometimes forget because it was such an experience, and it's where. It's a very interesting CD. I'm going to try to briefly say. Okay, so basically, I went to New York. I got signed to a record company in London. And they wanted me to do this album. But I was already in the middle of working on something. So I said, okay, just let me finish this album out. Because like it was a fantastic idea that I kept on running into interesting people. Singers and musicians. So I was like, I had this little Sony tape recorder. So I just kind of just sampled them and what they do. And then I put that into my computer and then I sampled them and made actual songs off of them. So, and, I had a guy from Africa, a girl from Japan, a girl from France, and I sampled them. And the whole album was that I'm the train and I'm going around to all these different countries and all these people I met in New York. So I was like, I have to. So like the last track was me flying to London, but in reality, I was really flying to London to go and record the album. So it was kind of like a parallel universe type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I love the album actually. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite creative projects.
Yeah, that was a wonderful. And I remember we even had a chance to talk with I think it was the young lady from France on the radio, on the telephone call.
Wow. I totally forgot about that.
Oh man, hey, look, bro,
Candy.
I told you, I'm like, I don't, I follow you, I really do. Sometimes I don't, I sometimes catch up with you a lot on Facebook or get a chance to drop a line, but whenever you hitting, I'm right there feeling you because you've always been a very, very special connection to me, and I think that's why when we get at the coffee scene sometimes, and I'm talking about people, and I'll say, well, we always like to think of Sir Ben Marx, and then everybody goes, oh, because then I mean, yeah, man, you make us very proud, and we're very happy to be connected with you in all aspects of what you're doing, because you do create, you did a lot of creating when I think the first time you were telling us from your room, you were just doing that in your room or and on the keyboard, and now you probably still do in a way, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I've actually had the luxury, in my field where I work in, to record free is a luxury because that's like not everybody gets to do that, but I have people call me over like, hey, I want you to sing something, you know what I'm saying, and I'm always like to record, and plus my brother once again opened up a music studio that I literally slept in, slept, record, you know what I'm saying, and that brings us to Abstractions of Ben, but so like. What you asking me?
I'm kidding. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. We can't. But anyway, no, we were just kind of referencing to the fact that you did doing a lot of recording time where you did spend time recording it. Yeah.
So what I was getting to, I'm gonna get me. Okay. So like what I was getting to is that I've had the luxury of recording for free and recording inside some top studios. But I do also like to limit my resources to have more of a creative, So for this latest album, I didn't go to any recording studios. I recorded all the vocals on my phone, and I sampled myself. I made the beat, I sampled myself line by line, and then I imported them into the program, and that's how I did the whole album. And and I didn't use any keyboards. I used the keypad to play all the notes. I did that for a plethora of reasons. But for one, I don't have to wait on nobody. Time, I can just sing it. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, I've had that luxury of, going. I wanted to see if I limit all of my resources, what would the sound like? And we have Enter the Introvert, which is streaming online now. You can go to SoundCloud, Enter the Introvert. It's a free download. And I use a HTC phone. That's all the vocals and Reason. And I've actually got some great feedback from it. Even Russell Simmons. I bumped into him 3 times on Sunset. And the first time I had just finished the album, and I was excited about it because I was like, hey, it's the album. And then he was like, okay. I was like, I recorded all the vocals on my phone. He was like, you did? I was like, that's interesting. So then, I saw him again. I didn't really bring it up because I ain't want to be a bugaboo. but the third time I was like, okay, now I gotta say something about it. Like, did you listen to it? So I was like, hey man, I was just wondering, did you get around and listen to it? He was like, it was actually very good. He was like, and you record all the vocals on the phone? That's when I was like shocked that he remembered that I said that to him, that he probably really did listen to it. So, it has an interesting sound. It's up to the viewer to take in. Like, most of the time people be like, what, you recorded that on your phone? So like that makes you feel good because you saying that it sounds like studio. And obviously it's a certain quality that you can only push with simple and phone stuff. But the fact that people say they can't believe that I recorded it on my phone really makes me feel like that, I'm mastering I'm mastering my voice and my sound and how I'm coming across digitally.
I love it. Now when bro, you talked about the SBS Express and several other. How many albums have you actually produced out in the past few
Underground?
years?
I say roughly 10. So, and I just started really putting my serious foot forth in 2007. So roughly 10.
And then this material that you've been working with is so different because I know the crazy privilege of this whole thing is, remember that night you came to the coffee scene and the guy wanted to do a show there and he set up his own acoustic CD to be played there. You know, and that brought that in because it was a coffee house environment. And I thought that was so cool as a sign of an artist understanding his environment. Because you get a lot of people these days who don't recognize that. They'll go into a place and they don't take the time to really look at the audience. Yes, check the temperature. You know, you might have to use one of them other kind of thermometers for some of them, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, because some of them, you know, they need it. But but you've always had a great understanding. That's what I've always enjoyed about you too. You're not over here too much or you're over there too much. You're pretty much comfortable in an area. You expand yourself. You do some great stuff, but you're keeping it all this very comfortable. Now this new and it makes us exciting with the new album that you've got coming out. The name is
Enter the Introvert.
Enter the Introvert. And how many tracks of that are you have?
15.
Ooh.
Yeah, 15 tracks. And a little bit about what you just said. I'm not the type of artist that's like, hey, listen to me, I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like art will speak for itself, and I don't want my art to say, hey, I'm hot. I want it to say, this is my expression. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like even getting on that level of, I self-promote myself in a way that, like, I'm blessed to create. You can listen if you want to. You know, like, I'm not saying, listen to me, listen to what I'm doing. I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? That's not my style, because, like, I feel like, just like what I said, the art will speak for itself. And I've always been that way of still getting attention, but not asking for attention, because, like, people gravitate towards something that's more, like, real. You know, of course, people do gravitate to flashy lights and stuff, but, you know, the real people, I feel like my fans, like, I told them to go to my video, and I said, I was telling them on Facebook, go to my video on YouTube and like and comment instead of on Facebook, because you can't see the views and the likes, because, like, views do matter whenever someone's from the higher up are looking and may want to book me for a gig. They want to see that people are listening and comment. And, you know, my supporters were very, very on it. You know, like, they just comment, you know what I'm saying, comment. I really do appreciate that, and I feel like they're real. You're like, I know exactly everyone who commented, and it was over 20 comments, but I knew exactly every single person. So, you know, like, I feel like that's very significant, because, like, these people actually like what I do, and they show their support. You know, I love it. You know,
I tell you, man, it's good to. Now you've traveled around, and once again, you've been living in Paris for a while. You in L.A., but of course, and now you're back in Fayetteville, and I really want to appreciate and thank you, man. We catching you while you were in between motions, because, you know, not saying that you just slip away, but we may not be able to catch you every now and then like we want to. So it was good to have you come in and do this interview with us. But wanted to ask you, with the next project, next location, are you going back to New York, L.A., or
Last summer, I had a heavy workload, so I was unable to promote my album, Mega Man Killer, last year. But I landed a app with Apple. From that album, they used 2 songs for a app. So I still was able to do some working, because, you know, I was in San Francisco with Silicon Valley. So, you know, like, there's a whole lot of startup groups there in technology, and I just went to a photo shoot, and they was like, hey, we want to hear some of your music, and it is so, like, but, like, last year I wasn't able to really promote my album. This year I have a new album, and my workload is totally free. So this summer I'm going to be just traveling all about the East Coast, and I may make a few trips back to California. Definitely going to eventually go back to Europe.
Aye.
So, you know.
Aye.
So, like, right now I'm totally free. And it feels good. I ain't got no babies. So, you know, I can, you know, right now I ain't got no babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, I can go and not feel like I'm leaving someone behind. So right now I'm totally free.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, folks, You've heard it from the man here. I don't know, ladies. He's free. I'm just saying that in there. You know, maybe
I don't want no babies.
Lady, you don't want no babies, but he definitely free for emotion. So and everything. But this is
wait a minute. That sounds like a dating app. I'm totally free.
Well, hey, the LMS dating service. I mean, we got some great winners out here, folks. I mean, but it's really a pleasure, man. I really want to thank you, man, for taking the time to just come in and just on a quick notice, but just loving you, wanting to catch you. And everything. I know you do so much like it is, and you're gonna be doing the coffee scene again real soon here.
Yeah, I'll definitely be about the coffee scene. I don't know when it's air.
Yeah, well, just soon, whenever you
coffee
can.
scene, I'll be by to do a all new acoustic set from my new album, Enter the Introvert, which you can get online. It's free. It's a free download. It's on SoundCloud. Just Google SBX, Enter the Introvert. And from that album derives a music video that I recorded on Hollywood Boulevard. It's called Famous in My Head. That's on YouTube. You can Google SBX, Famous in My Head. It'll come up, and basically that's my self-proclaimed underground artist anthem. Cause before we are famous, we have to be famous in our head. We have to believe it. We don't, and I just tweeted this the other day. I said my claim to fame is my fame to claim. Basically, with the whole reality television and with the whole American Idol shows, X Factor, in which I was on X Factor last year. by default, I was just someone told me to do it, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it, and I ended up making it to round 3. But all these talent shows and stuff, I don't need nobody to tell me that I'm talented. God, my mom, my family already told me that. So I want to claim my own fame before somebody try to say, oh, he was in the corner singing. And and we discover him. So but that's the premises of Famous in My Head. It's just basically saying I don't need for you to tell me that I got something. I already know I'm famous in my head already. So you can YouTube that video, Famous in My Head SBX. Sorry, I ain't
no problem. No, you doing great, man. That's what we want you to let folks know how to get in touch with you and let them keep seeing what you're doing, because you're doing great stuff. You're representing yourself well. You're representing the much love of your family, like you say. Even though he's not in view right now, we give props to your brother for being, Zach, and everything and your sister's doing some things too now too.
Shout out a new step.
I just saw that. I was like, wow, So
if people know, if I perform, my sister got to get on stage and break it down always.
Yes, sir. Yeah, she's got a spirit. So much love to you, to the family there, man. Loving you all and everything. So we've just spent like I said, just a crazy little short time here with Sir Ben Marx here, the LMS Radio Project, folks. Let me tell you something. We're here to expose and espouse the voices of Southeastern North Carolina, both in a musical and spoken word arena. So we encourage you to be sure to send us your work. Send us your videos. You can always get in touch with us on our Facebook page. We'll be developing a brand new website, should be around real soon. But you can check us out on our Facebook page, which is the LMS Radio Project on Facebook. But you can also hit us up on our email address, radioprojectlms@gmail.com. And to just be sure to check out some of our wonderful programming, particularly our live music at the Square, which takes place on the 4th Fridays of the month. Always keeping something great going on. And this 4th Friday, you never can tell. In June 28th, we've got Ms. Lizzie Ross, Mr. Larry Sykes, and Ms. Sharon Lawrence. So they're going to make some good stuff happen. That'll be down at the 4th Friday. So 4th Friday making some good stuff.
I'm coming down.
Yeah, we'll get Ben in there. He might even, yell at you a little bit.
I might do a little something.
He might yell at you a little bit. Thanking y'all very much, man. Thanking you, sir, very much for making it a wonderful evening. This has been the LMS Radio Project, The Mix. And I'm your host, Neil Ray. Thank you.